That's live.
That's
TV
live
for you.
Hello. Welcome to another Dragon Plus live stream. We did want to go a couple minutes early because we had a couple minutes early to spare. So the folks tuning in at 2 o'clock will wonder what it is that you and I and Stan are talking about right now.
You know it. They won't.
Before I get into the format of the show, I'll save that for 2 o'clock. I wanted to say welcome back to Stan.
Thank you.
How was, we were talking a little bit before the air. How was your Thanksgiving holiday?
Thanksgiving was good. Got together with a bunch of friends, bunch of old former TSR and Wizards folks. TSR dinosaur Jeff Grubb, and we have a group that's been getting together since about the time we moved out here to Washington. Yeah. So, it used to be the orphans celebration, but now we've got people coming back here from across the country. So, not so much orphans anymore.
It's
we are
solidified.
We're a real family.
No, yeah, I was mentioning we did Shelley and I did a couple of orphans Thanksgivings. We had Mr. Perkins over in 2009, and the only reason I remember that is
Did you have a cat though?
I had a dog.
No cat at that time?
Shelley had the cat back at her place.
Okay.
I had the dog at mine, and
because you could literally kill him.
Yeah. Well, I nearly killed the dog. The turkey came out on one of those real crappy aluminum baking pans, and I set it on the edge of the counter to the point where it collapsed under the weight of the turkey juice. We didn't notice, but then I looked in the kitchen, and there's the dog under it. Just bathing.
Gimme.
It was like Flashdance with
woof, woof.
So one very messy and very happy dog in 2009. Sadie, she will be missed very much. So welcome back.
Thank you.
In any case. And for folks tuning in, thank you for tuning in and welcome back as well. This will be our last Dragon Plus live stream for the year. We have a Wizards of the Coast company meeting next week. And then I will be off on holidays to see the family in Chicago for pre-Christmas, which will be delightfully frosty. And then off to Florida for the in-laws'
for the green Christmas,
which will be delightfully sunny.
Or aquamarine, since you'll be near the beach. Aquamarine Christmas.
It's taken a few years, but I now am leaning into the Florida Christmas. It doesn't feel as wintry, but now I'm fine with that. After spending a few days in Chicago first, it's all good.
Just to remind yourself, it could be worse.
It could be a lot colder. Could be a lot colder than this. So what are we going to do today? We've got Stan on. We're going to do some Dungeons and Doodles. We kind of wanted to break the show into two parts. And for folks that might have been watching from the beginning of Dungeons and Doodles, this was one of Stan's brainchildren. We wanted to do a bit of a doodle show. And along the way, at one point, we wanted to dedicate an episode to teaching a bit more about the drawing process, doing some instructional questions. So first part of the show, he has a victim to instill upon, myself.
He asked for this. I do not force this on people.
I'm feigning humility. No, I was actually very excited to be the pupil. So it's the holiday time. Maybe you've got a lot of holiday cards that you'll be signing or gifts and things like that. Maybe you want to throw in a quick doodle.
I always do.
So we're going to do a couple of rounds of learning to draw a little bit. We're going to take a quick break at 2:30. We're just going to go offline for a quick minute until we can get Caleb Cleveland up on Skype. Caleb, the illustrator for the 1, 2, 3s and ABCs of D&D. Ivan Van Norman, the author, Caleb Cleveland, the artist illustrator. So we're going to have him on. And this was our part 2 experiment for Dungeons and Doodles, which was remote Dungeons and Doodles.
Craziness.
So we've got a couple of topics and questions to inflict upon Caleb as well. As always, we're going to be asking for your help in chat for suggestions along the way.
Try to keep the flumps to a minimum. We know they're given. We know that flumps are very high probability and likelihood, and they're good, but
we like
try and reach beyond that too.
Can you? Because the flumps have a long reach.
It's hard. That's, you know what? It's tough being upper level.
So let's get to it. Let's talk about doodling. So before we kind of go into an actual doodle, coming at it from a completely novice standpoint, I was going to ask, what tools do you like to work with?
Right. Yeah. Well, I mean, that's what when you asked me that question beforehand, my first response back to you is like, man, this is going to sound really terrible, because you expect someone's going to give you high-end omnicronic, 2-point micron. I've always been the kind of artist that just kind of uses the materials at hand. I mean, I certainly have learned I can do stuff with Broke-Quill pens and brushes and things, but for myself, I do almost all of my physical work, almost all the physical work I did for publication for Wizards for a very long time was done with a Uniball ball pen. It's just you buy 25 of them for $30 over at your basic office supply store, and make very good use of the Sharpie. Whenever I've done do live caricature events, which I don't do very often because I'm really not that good at it, but I do that, and that's what we use here.
Right, and the Sharpie in particular works well for the live stream just because it's got a nice,
it's got a very bold
line. Yeah.
One of the things I've recently done, though, is I've gotten fine point Sharpies, which I may come and experiment with here, because there's occasionally times I want to make thinner lines, and the Sharpie will allow me to, but it doesn't show up on the camera.
So do you do your crossword puzzles in pen? Do you go straight to the ink? Do you like to sketch out first?
I do my crossword puzzles digitally these days. The New York Times app is how I'm doing my crossword puzzles.
So to speak, though.
So no, I'm not. My dad's a crossword puzzle and pen guy. I'm still, even to this day, despite the fact that I've gotten better, I haven't gotten better by not making mistakes every day. So when I have no choice but to do it in pen, I draw very lightly, which actually is a good start when we start talking about doodling. Yeah. It's just until you're sure, you put it in light and it's okay. So I can.
But do you use a pencil base first and then go over it with ink, or do you
drawing, or for crossword puzzling? Drawing. Drawing you want to do a pencil because you want to be able to get rid of it. Okay. And in fact, when I'm doing work for professionally, I'm nowadays using a blue pencil. That used to be because it's what was called non-repro blue, because it would not get picked up by the stats, so you would not need to erase it as hard. Now it's just kind of tradition. You still find a lot of artists who will do things using blue pencils, even digitally. When I work digitally, my sketches, I do them in blue still. And mostly, for me, that's a way for me to recognize the difference between the sketch and the final. Also, so I can know whether I've erased all of my sketches. They stand out much better when they're a different color. It's like, oops, I missed that part. Whereas if it was a pencil, it might look like it was a light ink line.
Yeah. So you're working blue.
So do a first sketch in blue, and then very often, depending on the project, I either do a tighter finished pencil in blue and then ink it, or I guess the older I get, the more impatient, I guess. Just kind of sketch it out and draw it, but more confident in my ability to translate the sketch into what I want it to be.
Okay.
But very often you hear artists say that they like their sketches better than their finished pieces, or you see people who will watch them at conventions. You go and watch some artist drawing, and the sketches have a life that the inked ones just don't have, and that's a lot because of how free you can be with a pencil, because you can erase it. And one of the beauties of digital drawing is it lets you be that free with your inks. No ink, no black line can't just be erased and replaced with a different black line that gets it better. So it increases your confidence level. You feel much more free to go in and just do it.
And what about, and so we were looking ahead of time, I've been following on Facebook the Dinovember as well, and I think we've got
Inktober before that.
Yeah, yes, it was Inktober, and then it was Dinovember. I think we're putting up a couple of the Dinovember pieces as well, pulled straight from my Facebook, so hopefully it doesn't have any PII. But we're going to get to playing poker, and we don't know why the Triceratops was scared.
I don't know. Again, I sketched out the rough. I knew I wanted a Triceratops running by, and as I got to the pencils, I was like, "Oh, that's a really panicked look on his face. So let's go with it."
Yeah,
and
one word, meteor.
Right? Yeah, meteor's coming. So here we go. That's a digital. That unlike all the others for that month, I actually did that one on the iPad, and inked it and colored it, and put it up as a new 10x10 toon, which I haven't done in a crazy amount of time. It's been like 3 years since I put up a new cartoon there.
So when you're working digital, what tools, software are you using?
I use an app called Procreate. And there are a few others which are really good, but I haven't figured them out. Procreate is so much like, particularly with the Apple Pencil, is so much like drawing that I bought this iPad with the pen, the Apple Pencil, and I spent a day fooling around with it, and the next day I did a piece that was I had plenty of time on my schedule, but I did a piece and it was so good that I could just give it to a client. And so the ramp up time in figuring out the difference between drawing and drawing digitally was so smooth that I could just jump into it. And for the last year and a half, I've done all of my professional work digitally.
Nice. Well, I guess FCC requires us to say that we're not sponsored.
Right. No, neither am I. So can I tell the FCC that Apple I'd be willing, but no, I get no support from that. It's just the tool I happen to use.
And the other tool that I was just admiring beforehand was the Armadillo, which was the bandolier. I believe this is what Chewbacca uses as well.
He's got a larger version, the Wookadillo, which wraps around. This is I got this in a Kickstarter. I hope they're still around, because it's just a little thing straps to your arm. You can Boba Fett if you want. You
thought it was that little tripwire line, but no.
But it's great if you're going to go out.
Autographs.
Oh yes, if you're going to go to a convention or you're going to go sketching out in the great wilds of the world, and you want to bring your materials. Carrying pens around is often a difficult thing, and you stick them in your pockets. They're flying all over the place. But you stick them in there, and then you've got everything you need. And so now it's my drawing table on the go.
I like it. All right, well, let's get to the embarrassment of me drawing something, I guess.
Okay.
So, we talked about Dinovember, the 10x10 toons a little bit. So, if you were going to maybe in 2 minutes teach me how to draw, but if you were going to lay out the basics, if somebody wanted to doodle a cartoon, what sort of parameters?
So the thing to remember whenever we talk about drawing, to people who are afraid of it or who say they can't do it,
Yes.
is to remember that there are so many different ways to draw it. If you look at Garfield versus Grumpy Cat, or all these different things are so different, yet we recognize them all as cats.
Right.
Or dragons. You've got a Todd Lockwood dragon, or Phil Folio's dragon from the What's New series. They're completely different things, but we recognize them as. So if you can do something that people can recognize as the thing that you wanted, then you're a good artist. You've succeeded in the goal of art, which is to draw something that's recognizable. So give yourself a break. Now, the second thing is,
I like to set the expectation bar.
Right,
Well, that's
right.
the-
I mean, not everyone can be Todd Lockwood. I can't be Todd Lockwood, but I can be Stan. I can draw a goofy little dragon. And I can draw a mean-looking goofy dragon, and it's all also comes in context.
How about let's draw a dragon?
All right, let's do that.
How would you go about drawing a dragon?
So let's. I'm going to use this Sharpie, this fine point Sharpie, so that it shows up better. So everything is broken down into. It starts as shapes.
I'm going to follow along. I heartily encourage folks viewing as well, if you'd like to take a shot at it.
So we got first of all, we got two kinds of dragons. We got dragons that have long heads and long necks, and dragons that are more T-Rexy and boxy.
Okay.
So you start off by kind of just setting the rough shape for the dragon you want to draw.
Okay.
Pick one.
I'm gonna go pencil here. I'm gonna go box. I'm gonna go little guy like that.
So you know it's going to be like that, and you want it to the kind of thing where if you just kind of squinted at it and you look and say, okay, that could be a dragon I'm looking at through some mist, then you're off to a good start.
Okay.
And then you want to decide, do you want your dragon to have big goofy eyes or little squinty eyes? So you do it down here. Another one got a small-eyed, mean-looking dragon. All right, so do like that. And what you want with these shapes is to get the basic layout. Again, the idea of like you're looking at it through the mist, and this could be the dragon, and so that everything's where it needs to be, and you want to lay out where things are. And then once that's in, you just add a little more. Like, I want the eyes to be there. It's like, no, that's not looking right. You reassess. That's looking good. Go on, drop another little piece in there. And when you've got something that feels like the start of the dragon, then you go back and you put in more solid lines. Let's say, got that. So then I would, for inking purposes, pull out the Sharpie.
I don't want to copy exactly here, but I'm following along.
Doing your
here.
own thing.
He's got the.
You look at the drag. You see, you've decided he's got ears. I haven't put that in there at all. I'm going to do something different.
Or are these badly drawn wings?
Oh, they could be. I don't know. That's up to you. And when you
I like you've got your lower jaw in there that way. All right.
add a couple of different things. Now again, the thing is to have the loose shapes. You know what it is, and then you can go in later and you darken it up. The trick about one of the tricks it's hard to learn first time out is that just because you put something down on paper doesn't mean that it's going to stay there, right? I see too many beginning beginning artists who come in with a line like this as their first line, right? You don't want to do that. It's all about building up, whether you're doing something that's finished like a painting, which starts as little sketches and you add paint on top, or if you're doing a cartoon like this, it's still, you put down beginning ideas, and when you like them, then you fill them in more solidly and they become permanent. The more you try and make any given first step unremovable, the more you're just boxing yourself into a corner, and then you start to choke. Like, what am I going to do there?
All right.
So we got a couple of different.
Nice little dragon.
Right.
There.
So when we're talking about doing things for Christmas.
Yes.
The other thing you want is something that takes as few lines as possible.
Mm-hmm.
So when I would sign books when I was here, I had a dragon like this where I'd sign it, and then I'd about 4 or 5 lines,
right.
and that looks like a dragon. Oop. Scoot. So I'm showing you when I should be showing them. Right? Yeah, no. Looks like a dragon. It's about 4 lines, and you get it done. You can do the same thing. A couple of eyes and a smile, and
I'm trying to throw together my quick version of a dragon.
We got Santa Claus, like that. Right. Yeah, and these are, I think, very definitively my style because of the style of lines I do. But again, if you can find a way to do it very quickly, I'd say, yeah, look at that.
There we go.
Put that at the bottom of your thing. That says Bart Carroll right there.
Ah.
Right. Same kind of thing would happen with the large-headed guy. He'd come down. He's maybe a little more serious. The more space you have, the more details you can put in. This guy's feeling very dinosaur-y to me.
So I was going to ask a couple more questions.
Yeah.
Regarding expressions, things like that, how to make it, give it different emotions, things like that. So for that, I wanted to throw it to chat. If there is a particular monster or mood to try and capture, I was. I'll throw mine into the mix there, but we've got. I like to doodle. I do like to doodle Demigorgon. I think only because because.
I like to doodle Demigorgon.
It's
a hobby. Everyone needs a hobby.
He's almost a symbol. You know, you got the 2 heads and the body. You can almost make a quick symbol out of it like that. But if there's a monster or a mood, maybe I'll do a Demigorgon. But if you could, teach me how to give it different expression or things like that, or I'll give based on what the monsters are coming in. We'll give some candidates for you, or we'll give Demigorgon a different monster head. Believe it or not, Flump has already made the list.
I'm shocked to hear that Flump is on the list.
Beholder, that's always a nice one. A Mind Flayer.
Beholder is funny because one of the things I was about to say is that the key to expressions almost always is eyes and mouth.
Yeah, but
and
what do you do?
All about what you do. So we got eyes. Those are surprised eyes. Right, they're big and you got a little dot. And I make that a little bigger. Oh, those look kind of like friendly eyes. Bigger pupils. But if you either extend the shape or just put a big W in the middle, you got angry eyes. So there's one of the really interesting things to play around with is if you can get a basic shape for your face. Is that what I'm trying to remember how I want to do Demigorgon? But if that's basically the shape of one of Demigorgon's heads, you can Make surprise Demigorgon. Angry Demigorgon. And I see, so surprised, big circles, small pupils. Angry, narrow them down.
Okay.
And again,
I've already
the
broken the
eyebrows.
rule of using ink right away, but
Well, so am I.
I'm trying to pull in some of the suggestions from Monsters here
So
as well.
one of the things that I actually have spent a lot of time doing, both as a kid and I still do it sometimes, I will just sit and draw pairs of eyes, just with nothing on them, and try and get some sense of emotion into them. Right?
Oh, there we go. Ooh, yeah. A Serac would be an interesting one with his gem eyes. We've got the Marut. An annoyed Modron.
Now, there's some, you get things like that don't have that expressive faces. You start getting into things where posture is going to carry a lot of the work, and that's more difficult. Holy cats! I like that as a cartoon for
So he's kind of a symbol.
yeah.
But I'm gonna try and pull off another head here from. You know, a Serac would be an interesting one, but I haven't. Well, you know what? He's basically like a skull, right?
Right. If you mix the size of the eyes, you get that weird kind of surprised look.
So I've copied your angry eyes,
There you go.
as Mrs. Potato Head would say.
But the more you put in a little practice with eyes and just kind of playing around and see, just stop when you're done and look at them and say, how does that feel? How does that feel? Then that becomes very replicable. Right? That is the heart of your cartoon. And you got your emotion going on, and then you just need to give it a context. Let's do that. Oh, got it. Sad mind flayer.
Poor Mind Flayer.
Or here we've got a really angry flump.
There we go. We worked the flump into it. All right. Well, a couple of wonderful tips and tricks for.
I would say I think that this is a great Demigorgon start. Like, you may want to work a little on the arms, but this idea of Demigorgon
well, he's
being
got the tentacly arms, right?
I don't even know. Oh.
See, here's inside baseball. This was the cartoon that I had been drawing on the whiteboard, and this was rejected as the logo for Dragon Talk, but
Aww.
I thought that it would work quite well if we had sort of a.
I like the Charlie Brown curly cue there on the top of his head.
So this is good thing this isn't live and they'll never see this. Oh,
Right. Thank goodness we're safe from this getting out into the world. This will never go in the archives to be seen forever and ever.
Instead of Dragon Talk,
Greg,
it would be
Demo Talk.
Demo Talk with Greg and Shelley.
I think, yeah, get someone to do an actual caricature of the two of them. You got something going there.
How this was rejected for their new icon, I have no idea. But
clearly, they don't see the future.
So I appreciate it, and again, for folks at home, I hope you were following along. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take a super quick break of just a moment or two. Actually, we will go when Caleb is up on Skype. We will wait for him to pop in there.
Because that'll keep our downtime to a minimum.
That'll keep our downtime
so smart.
to a minimum.
It's like you've done this before.
I haven't though. That's the catch. Is everything? Again, it's like
you've done
the double
live streaming. That's what it's like. You've got to keep things going.
Yes.
The audience demands it.
Oh, he's okay. Do we even? Yes. So we're gonna. Caleb is on the line. We're going to go down super quick, so we'll get our headphones on. We'll be right back in 2 minutes with Caleb Cleveland. We're going to be looking for more of your suggestions, so do keep them coming. Pelham, does that mean we'd restart the stream?
Yep.
Oh, so the chat will still be going? All right. So for chat, we're going to be talking to Caleb, doing a quick introduction, but we are going to be in need of your suggestions. We'll have a couple of doodle topics. So if you have some more monsters that you would like to see featured, especially in a holiday-themed greeting or cartoon, please put them in your chat. And when we get Caleb up, we'll go through some of your suggestions. So please sit tight. We'll be right back with Caleb Cleveland and Stan.
Yay.
All right, we're back with the magic of live streaming. We have brought in a special remote guest, Caleb Cleveland. Welcome, Caleb. Woo.
Hello. Hey. Thank you so much for having me.
Oh, well, thanks for, as mentioned, thanks for agreeing to spend some of your time with us today and doing a little bit of doodling. It's much appreciated.
Oh, it's my pleasure.
So for some of the viewers might have seen Caleb on Dragon Talk with Shelley and Greg on Demo Talk.
Right. Demo Talk.
Demo Talk.
Nice.
But of course we've got I'll hand this out to Stan as well. Out, I believe, released around November 13th. We've got the ABCs of D&D and the 1, 2, 3s of D&D. D&D as well.
That's them.
So I will speak from personal experience. I have a 5-year-old in the house who is a big, big fan of both of these books. He was also a fan of the ABCs of RPGs, a precursor as well. But certainly enjoying all of the artwork that went into these.
Well, thank you so much. That's so nice of you to say. Yes, it was a labor of love, but the writer Ivan Van Norman and I really, really wanted to create something that would resonate with kids as well as incredibly nerdy adults. So this was that was the genesis of this concept. For those of you, though, I have noticed in the chat that some people were asking for a Sararak. If you are interested in picking up the 1, 2, 3s of D&D, you may be pleasantly surprised to find that number 9 in the 1, 2, 3s is for liches. And,
we have it right there. Oh no, it's
8.
8. Number 8 for liches.
Oh, I beg your pardon. Number 8.
Yes,
I should know. It's my own book. But there is an Acererak in there. He doesn't have quite as sparkly an eye as Bart portrayed, but there's no disguising that crown of his.
No, he's got the crown and he has the green devil mask amulet as well.
That's it, which is also pulling a face. So I feel like it's lovingly branded material.
Well, again, they're great books. They're available now, as always. So please consider them for a holiday purchase.
All these D&D fans with kids in their lives, what could they possibly get those kids for the holidays?
Or that are kids.
That too, yes.
We did have a couple of doodle topics that we invited you to participate on. We've been soliciting the chat for some suggestions along the way already. It looks like you've had a look in there as well. So it's the holiday time. Again, for folks tuning in, this is our last Dragon Plus live stream for the year. We'll be at a couple of company meetings and then off on various vacations through the end of the year. We will be back in January. But until then, we wanted to wish everyone a very happy holidays.
Indeed.
Of all of the winter holidays going on at the moment. But before we break for the holidays, we wanted to doodle a little bit of how the Dungeons and Dragons universe might celebrate these wintry months. We thought we would do a little doodle about who might deliver presents to all the good little monsters, what good little monsters might receive for presents, or bad monsters might receive for presents. So, yeah, I suppose any sort of
holiday-themed, present-themed
cartoon would be in order.
I love it.
We do have,
what suggestions have we got?
We have, oh boy, we've got a Christmas treant, a gibbering mouther Christmas tree, a roper tree. That one.
Nice.
It seems an ice druid with an elf sidekick, purple worm in some capacity. Oh, they're coming in fast and furious now. Krampus, a gift holding a candy cane.
I'm surprised that nobody has said mimic yet. Has anybody done mimic?
The present mimic?
Like a present mimic? I mean, that's kind of a no-brainer in my opinion.
There's always one under the tree.
There's always one. That's why I sent my little brothers in first.
Hallister black cloak and a Santa hat. Barbarian class Santa, a holiday goblin, candy cane, purple worm. Yes, a emphatic yes for the present mimic. Santa sack mimic, or I guess you could do like a Santa sack bag of devouring, or
right? Nice.
Because he kind of has the bag of holding, right? But if it were
all right. Oh, I'm going for a big combination.
Okay.
All right.
Caleb, any of those strike your fancy?
Oh gosh, they all do.
Okay.
I'm thinking of my tripod just became a monopod. Let me think. I'm thinking of, I kind of like the Christmas tree roper.
All right.
There we go. Yeah, let me see if I can. But now it's like all these fantastic ideas has got my head sort of swimming. Like, what kind of stats would Santa have?
You know,
He would have great drops. I mean, that's for sure. We'd have epic loot, but
I know this is, I'll find the link because we have statted up. If not Santa.
On several occasions.
I think he was Nicholas the Gift Giver. And he might have been in last December's Dragon Plus, the online magazine. But boy, as we're drawing along here, I'm gonna find that link. So help me God, and get that in chat as well.
Now, it's been a long time since I've drawn a roper. They are just a sort of like a stalagmites that are, that have the tentacles waving around, correct?
Yes.
Sure.
Yes.
That
pretty much sums up a mimic.
A roper.
I'm working on my own holiday cartoon based on my limited repertoire.
See, that's once you can have the confidence, you're playing with the big boys.
That's right.
And I'm going to put in a horrible pun in this as well. So.
Oh God, thank you.
Wouldn't be the holidays without
this
horrible
good stuff.
So Caleb, as we're drawing along, I'd love to ask how your holiday season is going already. Did you celebrate Turkey Day in some capacity?
I certainly did. Slaughtered some really delicious Thanksgiving Day dinner. Got some good XP for that. It was a lot of fun. But we're back to. I'm back to teaching now. We are in the last legs of my fall semester here at Laguna College of Art and Design, and so everybody's, got they're all primed and ready for the winter holidays.
Are you saying they're ready to head out of school?
You could say something like that. But they're a great bunch of students. I told not a few of them that I was going to be doing this. So if you see some particularly cheeky chat members, that might be them.
Well, it'd be hard to tell because we've got some good cheeky chat at the best of times.
That's true.
Which school of design was that?
Laguna College of Art and Design. It's in Laguna Beach, California.
Nice.
So it's, wow, is it ever chilly down there in Laguna Beach? It is so cold right now. And it's like, I feel like I really need to express how chilly and icy it is down here in Southern California.
I'm sorry, you're breaking up. We're losing you.
I'm sorry. Oh no. But no, it's really, really, it's a wonderful place to teach. And I get to try to convert as many students as possible into the depths of nerddom. Not a struggle, not a very hard task, as it turned out. Most were on their way down anyway. There we go. But this is not unlike some of the sketch exercises that I make some of my students do in class.
So what would an exercise like that be?
Oh my gosh. Well, we do a lot of role-playing game character generation. Most of the time, though, we just, I pick two, beautiful, two beautiful natural animals, that actually exist in nature, and we tell them to mash it up. We tell them to make, an ungodly abomination out of them, and just sort of, take like a badger and an octopus, and how would those two, look at their forms, simplify them? How do you take those two and sort of turn them into something that looks like it would belong, like in the Monsters Manual, for example, or perhaps in a medieval manuscript, or at the very least, something that would look appropriate in like a cartoon or an illustrated picture book, not unlike ABCs or 1, 2, 3s, but or ABCs or 1, 2, 3s rather. But the idea is to try and create something that's visually appealing and and has a lot of the sort of the same kind of proportions and everything like that either of the two critters might have normally.
Well, if it worked for the owlbear, then there's no reason why
That's right.
A new animal mashup couldn't be.
If they get together with some of the fans, you could even create some good material to go up on the DMs Guild.
Yeah.
Get a product of brand new monsters.
Yes. See, I like the way you think. This is good stuff.
Actually, that has happened. I think it was a couple of D&D Doodles ago. We did the D&D for Canadian.
Right.
And somebody did do the Tim Hortons Beholder.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh!
I have that. I took that home.
And somebody also statted out the Caribou Barbarian.
The Caribou Barbarian. Yes.
Oh, that's good stuff. See, I thought I was being bad. Like the other day, I came up with an idea. Like we could do Owl Bear Home for Christmas. And I thought that was bad, but man, you guys have like a black belt in this sort of stuff.
We're professionals.
I need to up my game.
All right.
Okay, I think we're
there.
Oh, I needed to put way more ornaments on this guy.
All right, so I've got.
What are we looking at from Stan?
We've got Barbarian Claus riding in on a peppermint worm, carrying a present bag of holding, present mimic of holding. Look at that.
Carrying a. Oh, that's magnificent.
All right. While Caleb is finishing up, I'm throwing mine on the screen as well. This is a marked difference in styles, but I had to go with.
That's awesome. I'm streaming of a white Christmas.
I'm streaming of a white.
Oh, that's good.
There we go. That's all I got.
Wow. That.
Nope.
That, we gotta draw that up and make a card out of that.
There we go.
Nicely done, sir. Well done. It's got a lot of that visual appeal I was talking about before. It's got some good proportions, got some good values. I give you a solid C+.
There you go. Well done. That's a pass.
I'll take the pass. That's
Very good.
That was my last class in university. It came down to a pass-fail.
Oh, mine too.
And I was just campaigning for that pass.
I lucked out in that the professor in my class said that all graduating seniors did not have to take the final.
Ah.
Oh boy, that was going to be white knuckling that one.
Nice bit of charity for the graduating seniors. And
nice.
Caleb, it looks like you're finishing up here the roper tree.
That's it.
Sweet.
Aww.
Yeah, I needed to string some lights on this guy, though.
That is fantastic.
Now, I got to ask, how much time do you guys give yourselves to do these doodles? You guys are chowing these out at a record pace.
This is...
Well, we've never really determined the official time of the doodle.
We try and get a topic to be a 10-minute.
Yes.
And try not to let it go more than 15.
It used to be we had no idea how long it would take or how long various artists would work at different speeds. and I would blather on while everyone was drawing.
Right.
Until most people had finished, and yeah, kind of.
I also I try and push everyone by getting done fast, because then there's peer pressure.
No, that's good. Peer pressure is a wonderful motivator.
I agree.
Very
Yeah,
good.
yeah. One
All
of the inspirations for the show is a series of events that's done at San Diego Comic-Con every year with Sergio Aragonés and
nice.
several other cartoonists to do the same kind of live questions. But Sergio is so fast that they give him a topic and he's done.
Yeah.
And so sometimes he'll be 2 topics ahead while everyone else is still trying to catch up.
The man's a legend.
He is. He's a super nice guy. But yeah, so I can only dream of being that fast. But try and get him done quickly, get him out there, entertain the crowd.
Well, you've been
Refill.
more than generous to me, so I'm going to say I'm going to mark this done.
No, it looks
looks
more
beautiful.
than fantastic. All right, so we've got Caleb Cleveland's Roper Christmas tree. Well done.
Thank you.
And I am looking in.
I like the expression on his face.
And for folks that were wondering, I did put the link in chat. In Dragon Plus, back in issue 17, we did, Charles Ryan, I think back in 3rd edition D&D, created a scenario called Nicholas the Gift Giver's Northern Palace. We did not stat up Nicholas, but it is a playable, it was updated to 5th edition D&D. We did stat up a gnome toy maker, and we've got a couple of magic items in there, including the random gift generator. So if you're looking for some
Charles
quality
Ryan is
content.
a pretty clever guy.
He is. So back in issue 17, again, dragonmag.com, available for free, as always, iOS, Android, and online at dragonmag.com.
What a deal.
Yes, you can't beat the low price.
Beat it with a Yule stick.
Free.
Nice.
So we came to Doodles, so let's move on to the next topic while we still got a little bit of time on the clock here. The forgotten letter or / number. So, in honor of Ivan and Caleb's recent releases for the 1, 2, 3s of D&D and the ABCs of D&D, these books cover the known alphabet. Well,
the standard alphabet and numbers.
Standard English alphabet and numbers to 10. However,
Right.
what about if there was a new page for a number higher, or I suppose lower, than 10, or a new letter or symbol?
Or a concept. It's a concept that needs its own symbol.
So,
like the ampersand. The
we're,
ampersand's a really good example of it.
Oh yes, the ampersand would be a good example. So polling the folks in chat as well. If you would like to see, and I'm bowing out of this one unless I can put together something really quick. If you would like to see Stan and Caleb create a new page, a director's cut page for a letter other than 1 through 10, or a new letter or symbol that did not appear in these books, what would that be? Ooh, okay, so we've got natural 20.
Of course.
Of course, natural 20. The ampersand mentioned as well. Yes, I suppose there's a limited number of suggestions, but this is why I am relying on chat. The oh man, a half, the 1/2, the hashtag.
The interrobang.
That's the one that I was about to stumble over because I know it's a symbol. I've never heard of it called the interrobang. That just came up through a pi 3.14.
Nice.
Question mark for a failed insight check of some sort.
That's good.
Well, I don't know if we can do that one, although in Washington State.
Nice.
It's only 30 states in the country can you do that one. Or so I hear.
We've
Nice.
got, yes, we've got Asmodeus and 666. We've got others that have come in. Yeah, you always, there's the standard array of punctuation marks, but then
Right.
there's like the interrobang where it's like, oh, that actually has a name.
It's an actual thing.
I've never heard of it.
It's not just a question mark next to an exclamation point. It's a thing.
We've
There's a key for that in the infinite keyboard.
So the pound, the British pound signed as well. Oh, the Spanish enye with the tilde. The
That's true.
backslash, hashtag, percentile. Ooh, that's a good one as well. Any of the playing card suits. Mike Merles was just on Happy Fun Hour going through a bit of the deck of many things as well, so that one came in handy there. Now the AE, I'm sure there is a name for that, such as Caesar, Ether.
Oh, wow.
Aeon.
Aeon. So yes, boy, now it's turning into a trivia for names of exclamation marks.
And we haven't
all
even
right.
started on the runes yet.
Oh, I like this. A new symbol for Thaco.
Oh, God.
So have any of these struck your fancy?
Yeah, I'm
for,
gonna do a little collection of them
all right.
for a couple of those that were.
Oh, gosh.
Caleb, any of these?
Oh, gosh. I think I have to do Nat 20. Or is that too obvious?
No, not at all. Because it's all in the portrayal of the natural 20 that will be.
If anybody wanted to do 18, it would be more like 18/00. All right, let's get this party started.
Let's see. This is. I've run out of all of my lessons for the day. I'm floundering.
Okay.
But
Oh, here we go.
so again, for folks that are tuning in, we're with Stan and Caleb Cleveland, working on the forgotten letter number, the ABCs and 1, 2, 3s of D&D, cover the alphabet and numbers to 10. What about a new page for a number other than 10, or a new or unused letter or symbol? Da, da, da.
So much fun.
I like your theme song here. It's very good. The musical accompaniment on this show is like half the reason to tune in.
We're working on that. That's one of our plans for next year. Is we need to bring in a couple of opening tunes for some of our live streams. I'm jealous of Sirens of the Realms. They've got a great intro.
Oh, I know.
So, we have to be better, and we will. There we go. That's all I got.
I don't believe that's true. I think you have more, Bart. I believe in you.
I believe in you too, Bart. 100%.
You are all.
This is how you get them.
Yeah.
Positive reinforcement.
Lies, and I'll take it all.
This is what happens when you're dealing with teachers, Bart.
I will say, I was a teacher for 2 years in my life. That is a difficult, difficult profession. To all of the teachers in the world, you have a difficult, difficult task. So my heartfelt appreciation to you. And as the parent of a 5-year-old, I cannot even comprehend the patience and organization of a kindergarten teacher. That is a mission that I would deem impossible. But so thank you to all of our teachers who may be watching.
Well, that's very kind of you. Thank you.
Or who may be participating. Oh, Caleb, I feel like we just got you on the stream and we're getting close to 3 o'clock. We're going to have you on again here.
My little package here, the ones that you had suggested I thought were awesome. We've got a pound sign, all in the D&D theme. So if you're going to have D&D money in England, you're going to have a pound. How many pounds have you got?
Of course.
Go over to Spain, little tilde over your ends, little dragony tilde, and a very eel-y percentage. It didn't come out quite as I'd imagined it, but you know, that's the fun of doodling. You don't always get what you thought you were going to get.
I'm stalling for Caleb, but I think tilde. I think tilde would be a nice name for a little pseudo dragon.
Yeah.
Right?
It's tilde.
Right.
It's tilde.
It's not, and it's Matilda. It's not even your tilde. It's
right. Is it apostrophe
sorry.
tilde? You know, like the abbreviated Matilda.
No, it was not. It was a
I missed
terrible pun.
I just missed it as I was trying to explain.
No, it was low-hanging fruit. I'm sorry.
Again, for folks tuning in, this is Dragon Plus, the last Dragon Plus of the year. Very sad, but and our last Dungeons and Doodles of the year. But we will be back next year.
It's like James Bond will be back. Dungeons and Doodles will be back.
It's been a lot of fun, and thanks to Stan for suggesting the stream way back so many months ago, and it's been a pleasure to bring
I'm so happy that things panned out.
I'll throw on my.
Sometimes you have ideas and they don't, kind of like the percent, they don't work out the way you think they will.
This is my first edition joke.
Oh God.
Which was,
here we go.
This is Nicholas, the gift giver for percentages. All I could think of was, may all your treasure types be H. If memory serves, that was the
that's the one you always were looking for.
That was the treasure types that the Chromatic Dragons gave out. It had all of the best loot in it as well. So.
Nice. So does this mean I get to be invited back sometime?
As I was saying, I feel like we just started talking to you, and this has been too short. We would love to have you back on in 2019, and spend a little bit more time doodling with you. If that would work out for you, we certainly would love to have you. You can make it.
Nothing would be finer. Finer? Fine. Nothing would be great.
And we'll make it a requirement for your students to
That's right. You can make that part of their the syllabus. Like, did you watch this? Do you know what joke I made at minute 19?
Exactly. No, I'll be like, so what type of treasure does a red dragon drop? Oh, you don't know? Oh, no, that's terrible. Oh,
that's a real
these
shame.
are life skills, kids. You need them.
And again, for folks tuning in, I will say stick around. We'll be doing D&D news. I'm going to look at Pelham. Are we going to be late for news? We're going to be late? Okay. We need to record a quick video in here, so we're going to be coming to D&D news probably about 3:10. My apologies to Greg Tito because I'm cutting into his time to cut a quick video, but D&D news shortly, and then dice camera action at 4 p.m. Pacific. Before we tune out, I will say again, thanks to all of our viewers, as always. Thank you for spending an hour of your time.
Have yourselves a merry little holiday.
Yes. Happy holidays to everyone. Thank you.
Absolutely.
To Stan and Caleb for participating and donating their time with us today.
thank you for having me. This was such a wonderful, wonderful experience. I loved being a part of it.
Yeah, nice to meet you virtually.
Yes,
Caleb.
this was our other experiment to do a bit of a virtual doodle. Thank you so much to our followers, to our subscribers. Thank you, as always, to our moderators as well. Extra Life has, the official program is pretty much wrapped up, although apparel still available for sale. Again, potential holiday gifts. Our adventure, The Lost Laboratory of Koalish, available on the DMs Guild and on D&D Beyond now as well. And thanks to everyone for participating in any capacity whatsoever. We raised over $200,000 for the Children's Miracle Network hospitals and the Extra Life charity. So thank you all so much for that.
Thank you so much, everybody.
Now I'm watching Caleb put on the touches.
So as I recall, with your Miracle Network, with your thing, you were giving away drawings from.
Yes. To everyone who donated to my page, they received one of our original Dungeons and Doodles. I keep them all in a massive folder at my desk area.
And so how many of those did you give away?
A good dozen.
That's it? And given all the ones...
Well, this wasn't for all the D&D team donations. These were just for my personal donations.
Right.
So, yes.
Well, maybe we could have a special
auction off.
Oh, I mean, you don't want people bidding, but if you pick some small donation amount, and you'll get something.
Yes, but yes, we did give out a good dozen of those. So thank you for the donors as well. So we're after 3 o'clock. So I am going to give sincere apologies to Caleb. He is in mid drawing or wrapped up.
Oh, it's okay. I'm just having a wonderful time here. I don't know if I'll stop drawing this even after you cut me out.
That's how we artists are.
Well, thanks again, everyone. We're going to be back in about 10 minutes with D&D News. And Caleb, thank you so much for joining us today as well.
It was my pleasure, everybody. Thank you so much for having me.
Thanks, everyone.
Bye.